Good morning, guys. Welcome to today's training. I'm going to get this shared out to the community real quick, kind of change things up on my routine. Marshall Berkshire. And if you're new to me, I help codependents and survivors of narcissistic relationships rediscover their happiness, rediscover their well-being, and rebuild their lives so they can be happy and have healthy relationships and enjoy life again, actually live it, sometimes even for the first time. So let's see. There we are. There I am. I'm going to share this out to the community. If you're looking for a safe haven, guidance, inspiration, understanding, the community is your safe haven for that. It's a private community here on Facebook that you can connect with other survivors and people on the same journey as you. Get guidance, support, and understanding, and even some confrontation to help you see into your own programming and work out what's going on for you in your world. So link is above on Facebook, below on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for being a part of my community, both here on Facebook, YouTube, and anywhere else you might see me on Instagram, things like that. So today, I had a different topic I was going to talk on, and we might still talk on it. But there's this thing that keeps coming up. So I'm going to kind of rant a little bit about leaders, gurus, and the self. I've been in this for a little while, since 2008. So I've seen a lot of weird shit in self-help and self-development, personal development, healing, trauma work. I've gotten sucked into it myself. So, yeah, let's talk about it. There is a trend in this industry of hyperbole. The idea that one person has the answers for you, right? It's this belief that, we're seeking a leader. We're seeking someone to provide us the answers because we don't really trust ourselves. And so we pedestalize other individuals that we look up to because they give us an insight, or we have an insight and result a response to what they're sharing. And this kind of gives us this external orientation, this habit of looking through the world through their eyes, because we're not really referencing ourselves. And this happens a lot. I've done it. People have done it to me. I've been put in the middle of people's drama and their situations that, frankly, isn't my business. It's like, hey, you guys figure this out. I'm not your arbiter, right? I've had people become very upset or disappointed in me because I don't share an idea or an ideal or perspective they do. And that, for them, ruptures their sense of identity with me. And that's because they absorbed my identity as theirs, rather than seeing me as I am, which I'm just some guy in Boise, Idaho, that knows a few things about how to live beyond codependency, how to heal trauma, how to deal with the nervous system, how to deal with attachment, how to build some happiness in your world. And this is what it comes down to, is we have this really bad habit of aggrandizing leaders, turning them into gurus. And then we have leaders, or we have individuals that lead, that turn themselves into gurus. So there's this cycle going on, this interplay that we do, and it creates this toxic cycle I see a lot in the personal coaching industry. And I'm just going to kind of call it out, because you are your guru. It's you that ought to trust you. Don't trust me. Let me earn my. You trust me, I damn well better have earned it, right? Your trust is sacred. It's something that you give to someone. You allow their influence to guide you. You gotta let people earn that. Earn that, and you follow them. You see how they show up. You see how they respond to mistakes they make. You see how they respond to their own limitations. Or when they're called out. I've made mistakes. People have called me out, and sometimes I've responded really poorly, and I've had to go back and correct that. Sometimes I respond on target and have more integrity to my own work. That's what we're looking for. That's what I look for when I hire people to coach me. I'm looking for this consistency, this continuity between their claims and their claims and their actions. And this takes time. That this is something that is okay to go slow with, right? I try to approach things from an angle of nurturing trust and opening up the opportunity to be trusted, but I don't expect it. Okay? And this is important for us to kind of nail down, is people who expect your trust. It's like a huge, to me, that's a red flag. I'm like, I don't know you. Why should I trust you? It's not that I distrust you. It's that I don't know if I can trust you. So I move into this approach of discovery. It's a lot like how we treat intuition. Intuition isn't a fact until it proves itself. Well, I'm going to find out if this person is trustworthy by first identifying how they show up with accountability, reliability, and integrity. Those are the first three elements of that. We look at Brene Brown's model of trust, which is called braving: boundaries, reliability, accountability, vault, integrity, non-judgment, generosity. I look for these features in myself. Am I showing up with that? Because I can be a really judgmental person. I have some really strong views on things. And so non-judgment is something I work on a lot. I work really hard to hold space for myself in non-judgment and others in non-judgment, despite our points of view on things. And then I take accountability. This is the key here. This is what we have to look for. Are you willing to call people out on things that are confusing to you? Are the guru, the leader you follow, or you may have put on a pedestal, or is wanting you to put them on a pedestal? That's a big thing people do. A little heartburn there. Do they receive accountability? Do they receive feedback from you? How do they receive it? This morning I got emails from a couple of students from the happiness strategy that were confused about some things that are in the course. That is a call to accountability. Do they respond to it? I responded like, oh, yeah. In fact, one of them inspired a change in it that will improve it, which is so cool. This is what we do. When I make mistakes, how do I respond to it? This is what I want you guys to think about. Open up and consider the people you follow. How do they receive your feedback? How do they hold integrity to their own beliefs? How do they communicate it? And then let's say they are judgmental. Let's say they are confrontational. Maybe they call you out on something because maybe we've crossed a boundary with that individual. What's that like? How's that transacted? The idea, the goal, to be repetitious here, is to pull people off a pedestal, is to normalize how we see them, to make them human again to us, so that we can then retrieve from them our voice, our wisdom. We can come in and go internally and say, what do I think about what Marshall is sharing here? What does my body say? What's my read on it? What do I think about it? That's what we need to get here. That's what we need to look at and dig into. You are your guru, not me. Not Deepak Chopra, not Oprah, not Tony Robbins, not some other person you might follow on Facebook or Instagram. You. It's you are your guru. It's you that needs to tune into you. So you're receiving some information from a person, and you're like, do I agree with this? What do I think? How does this feel to me? And you might start noticing you object to it. You're like, oh, I don't agree with that. Or, ooh, I'm confused by that. Honor that. Because it may not be your path. That's the point. True, genuine personal development points you back to yourself. It doesn't point you to a person outside yourself. It points you back to you. So, in 2008, I got tied into some of this this personal development bullshit, and the person that I was working with wanted me to follow them. I bought into it for a little while. It cost me a lot of time and money, harmed my life, because I wasn't actually being coached to know myself. I was being groomed to become a follower. And so I just kind of wave that flag of, that red flag there is healthy, there's a word there that wants to come up that just my brain is going to give me here in a second. Leaders that are healthy and are working for your well-being are going to point you back to you. They're going to give you tools and processes that help you discover you, that liberate you from them. They work for your independence. That's my biggest goal for you guys, is to be you without me. I'll hold the space. I'll show up. I've got your back. But you're making the choices. You're discovering what reality is for you. That's the journey. Right? That's what I want for you, because I don't know what your happiness is. You do. I only know one thing, what mine is. And sometimes I don't even know what that is all that well, because we're still discovering these things. So these days, there's a lot of people out there that want your money, they want your time, they want your attention, but not so that you improve, but so that they have a following. And there is a lot of marketing pressure and training out there that motivates this kind of behavior and thinking. I want you to be careful about that. I want you to apply this to me. I want you to apply it to others. And most of all, for your well-being, so that you can follow the people that matter to you, that make sense to you, and that fundamentally you're getting results that enhance your happiness and your well-being in your life, so that you can be you, so that you can succeed in your world, so that you can be happy. Hi, Fabiana. Yeah, toxic cycle. Yep. And so we need to tear down the pedestals we put these people on, and we need to be skeptical, willing to test things out. That's why I do practices. This is why I have tools. This is why I have a process, because you're not following me, you're following the process. The process leads you back to you. One of the coolest things I find and experience with my clients and students is when they start disagreeing with me. Because now the person is hearing themselves. Now the person is advocating their position, and they're no longer following me. They're following them. And that's the point. That's the goal. Healthy practitioners, that's where they point you to. They're not going to need you to follow them. The goal is to work myself out of students and clients. I'd rather go out of business, because that means I've succeeded, than keep in business because people still aren't. They're not getting what they really need. That's the point of self-help, guys. That's the point of personal development. This is an industry that should be shrinking if we're doing our job right. If it keeps expanding, we need to start asking questions about what isn't being addressed and what's not being done. Because you deserve to heal, and you deserve to be free. You deserve to be happy. And you don't need to be dependent on me or some other leader, guru, whatever out there. It's in you. So when you look at programs, you look at courses, you look at coaching, choose people that, in the way they communicate, the way they show up, the way they do their thing, are pointing you back to you. What do you think? What do you feel? What matters to you in this? Work with people who understand your financial situation, who are flexible with it. I've found consistently the coaches that are rigid with the money are typically not oriented towards your well-being. That's pretty controversial, I know. But at least in my field, in my little pie of the self-help personal development market, Most of y'all have been through hell financially. You can't afford a $5,000 program. It's absurd. That's why I price things the way I do. That's why I have memberships now, where you can sign up for a monthly fee, starting at $49 a month. You can start getting healing. Healing that actually works. Healing that has evidence-based approaches. Healing that has results. Healing that gives you the support you deserve and that you need. This is what we need to be looking for in this industry. That's what you need to look for in the people you follow. Because it's easy to get seduced by the words and the pretty things and the promises. The reality is real growth, real healing takes work. It takes time. It's kind of a bloody, dirty mess. It's not pretty. It's not all positives and rainbows and butterflies. You know that. You've been walking this a while. Don't buy into the bullshit that, hey, it's all just going to get better all of a sudden. No. We have to trudge. We have to slog out of this. That's the work. And that's where the magic is. And with the right tools and the right process and the right support, you will make it. Because it's built into you. That's why I do what I do. Because when I broke out of the fantasy of instant healing and all this positive bullshit, and I started really dealing with my shadow, my darkness, my pain, my grief, it's still there. Sometimes. It's still there right now. It's not intense. It's not a 10 on the scale anymore. Guys, we're human. We've lost. Things have failed in our world. We carry scars. Let's stop bullshitting ourselves about it and really get gritty with it. It's like, here I am, doing the damnedest I know how to do. And it's kind of scary. We live in a really weird time. Lots and lots of stable things are not stable anymore. There's huge amounts of uncertainty, lies and disinformation and chaos. We don't know what's up from down. It's okay to be scared. This is what we need to hear, in my opinion, is that we're doing the best we can. We can stop reaching for these lofty, I don't have my traumas no more. You're gonna heal, and the trauma isn't gonna control you anymore. But it doesn't mean you're gonna be free of pain or sadness or grief or loss. It means you're gonna be confronting some shit. Especially if you deal with codependency, you're gonna be in the uncomfortable rub of being yourself for the rest of your life. It gets easier. It really does get easier. But that first step out that door, like Bilbo says to Frodo, going on an adventure. Where are you going to go? I'm not even paraphrasing him correctly, but the whole point is real healing, real development is a dirty job. It's a messy experience. And that's the point. It's okay. And anybody who's promising suddenly magical changes in a short amount of time, be mindful of that. Be cautious there. Because it's really about the wrestle of who we think we are versus who we are, and learning to sense into who we are, begin to trust this, and see what it reveals as we go forward. That can move real quick with the right tools. But it's a practice, not an event. And that's one of the bigger things that isn't taught very well. Like when we finished From Addiction to Connection on Sunday, it's hard for those things to end because I care a lot about the people there. And I don't know. I urged them to continue with the practice, that this isn't over just because you went through an 8-week course. Yeah, finished the course. It's a practice, because it's the practice that makes the difference. And we've been sold a bill of goods for a very long time in self-help. And so you take my course and it's all done. Such bullshit. It's not done. It's a practice. It's something we have to persist in. We have to become loyal to the practice and let it grow and teach us. That's why I do the things I do. I teach you a practice, and then I give you support forever. Because that's the point. Let's see. Yes, Fabiana, you can be you. Yes, I agree. Soyen, is it Suyen or Soyen? Let me know. I think pronouncing people's names accurately is important. So, in my mind, a sign of respect. My sister's got involved with an organization that's self-made modern guru and sounds a bit like a pyramid scheme. How can I advise her? Start asking her questions. The thing when we deal with cults or cultic programming is we can't come at them with facts. We can't come at them with statements. We come at them with questions. And the questions is like, how's this working for you? How's this lining up for you? What's happening? How's this adding to your world? What is it costing you to be in it? What's that like for you? What concerns do you have? How do they respond to your concerns? How do they respond to your questions, to your doubts? I get doubts, clients and students and prospective ones with doubts all the time. It's kind of activating, to be honest, to get that because of how I was gaslit growing up. So it's a constant opportunity to come back and hear people rather than go, oh, I must be a fraud. I'm a harmful person because they're doubting what I do. And then ask questions, well, talk to me about your doubt. What's happening for you there? Because a lot of times people have doubts, not because of you, but because of what they've been through in the past. And they have a hope, but that hope was betrayed. And that created that doubt. Su Yen? Okay. Excellent. So ask them if their doubts are supported. Ask them if they're heard or if they're respected. Get them to reference themselves. Because that's where the brain kicks into gear. It's like, oh, I really don't like it. Or it's really uncomfortable sometimes. And what that does is it puts a crack in their fantasy and it starts to bleed a little of that truth light into reality. And then they can start to access and understand it more effectively. And then they'll reason themselves out of it. That's how I got out of that kind of thinking myself. It's actually what got me out of that coaching program I was part of way back when. So guys, that's my rant today. We need to be more deliberate in how we choose the people that we follow. We need to look at behaviors rather than just words. We need to look at results rather than claims. We need to be a little more honest with ourselves about what we think we want from them and allow them to be human. So that when people screw up, because I will, I already have, I've done it twice this week, we can use that as an opportunity to connect with the person. And we can leave the realm of judgment or condemnation a little more. And understand the dynamic nature of individuals. So, yeah, that's kind of my 10 bits on that. Because this is really about an important interchange that we have with healing work. The practitioner, my role as a practitioner is to have integrity, to create a safe container, and to be responsive. I'm the one with the responsibility to lead. And I need to respect that. I need to respect the trust and integrity, the trust and vulnerability, rather, that my students and clients give me. That has to be honored. That's my job. And then for my clients and students, it's for them to show up and to find out for themselves what works, to explore and discover the tools and see which ones lead them down the path. As for them, and then as me as a leader, is to direct you back to you. And you as a client or a student is to direct yourself back to you. So if my voice shows up in your head, you can say, hey, cool, Marshall, nice voice there. What do I think about this? What do I feel about it? What's my voice say? That's the point. If you're not following people who point you back to you, take some time to consider that. Because that's how you get manipulated. That's kind of the trick there. So, yeah, there you go. That's my 2 bits on this, because I see it a lot. Probably rant on this a little more, because I'm tired of seeing the pain. I'm tired of seeing the exploitation that's going on. And I work with a lot of clients who've been exploited. They come to me after the exploitation, and it's heartbreaking how much time, how much money, how much vulnerability, and then the re-traumatization that happens in this. Yeah, it's got to stop. I can't stop it, so I make my declaration, right? But I can educate you, point you towards you. You're the guru. You're the wisdom. Trust you. Follow you. So that's my bits for today, guys. I appreciate you. Let me see here. Yeah, you're welcome, Suya, and you're welcome. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your support and your trust for letting me have some influence in your world, to contribute my little bits to your little bits. So have a good day. Be safe out there. And I will see you guys in our next video. Bye-bye.